Hello, Kara. What brings you into the office today?
Depression and anxiety lately.
Um, okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you've been feeling lately?
Sure. Sad, lonely. I've been having some panic attacks too. Or
Okay.
heart races and just don't feel good.
You said panic attacks. Can you
Mm.
tell me a little bit more about them? Like, how long have you had those types of feelings for?
For a few weeks.
A few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and tell me about the depression you're talking about.
That'd probably be a few weeks as well.
Okay.
Sad. It's hard to get out of bed in the morning. I feel like crying.
And you said you've had these feelings for about how many
About a
weeks?
month.
About a month. Okay.
Mhm.
Can you explain to me a little bit more about what's going on when you have these panic attacks and these feelings of feeling sad? Like what kind of thoughts are you having?
I guess just panic attacks. It's more just worried about school and friends and um, my part-time job.
Okay, so you have a job
Mm-hmm.
too. Um, so it sounds like you got a lot on your plate. Has anything happened recently that has made things more difficult for you within the past month or so?
Sure, I had a breakup with my boyfriend.
Oh, okay. And can you tell me a little bit more about that? Would you like to share about that?
Sure, now he's dating my best friend.
Okay. Um, and I'm assuming that's not making you feel too good.
No,
So, are you? I guess you don't have much contact with your friend at this point
no,
either. So you're
which adds to the depression.
gotcha. So it sounds like you're dealing with some loss of not only a boyfriend, a relationship, but
Mm-hmm.
also a good friend as well.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that make you feel?
Sad and lonely and angry.
And what kinds of things have you been doing to kind of cope with those feelings?
Probably not much.
Not much. What does, if you don't mind me asking, what does not much actually look like? Are there things that you used to do that you don't do anymore?
I used to exercise. I used to, go out with my friends a lot, go out with my boyfriend a lot, but the social activities are, I don't have those two to go out with, so.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you're not only missing the fun of being with your friends, you're also dealing with the loss of that relationship.
Right.
So when you're having those types of feelings of being anxious or depressed, what kind of thoughts are going through your mind?
I guess just loneliness and just feeling not feeling worth a whole lot.
Okay. So you're feeling a little bit sad, a little bit lost,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been anything that you've tried to, make yourself, cope with those feelings?
Talk to other friends, and that's pretty much keep to myself.
Okay. So it sounds like like you said, you feel isolated,
Mm-hmm.
losing a friend, losing a boyfriend. How about sleep? Have you been able to sleep okay lately? Has that been interrupted as well?
Interrupted, and then sometimes I sleep too much.
Well, it sounds like, you're dealing with some hurtful feelings, dealing with loss, causing you to feel anxious, causing you to feel sad and depressed. But the good thing is that you're coming in and you're speaking to somebody, and hopefully we can work together to help work out some of those negative feelings and thoughts, and come up with some coping strategies and skills to make you feel better. The good thing is that depression is treatable,
Mm-hmm.
and what I'd like to try to work with you collaboratively is talk about, your thoughts and your feelings, and then the behaviors that occur when you have those thoughts and feelings. And there's a technique called cognitive behavioral therapy that works with how you think and your beliefs, and working to kind of change those through some interventions that can also influence your behavior and hopefully make yourself feel a little bit better, and kind of restructure those negative thoughts. So what I'd like to try to do is talk about things that maybe are, helpful for you to do to kind of make yourself feel a little bit better. It sounds like, you're dealing with a lot of loss. But, so what are some things that you've done in the past that have been enjoyable for you?
Exercising, reading, taking my dog for long walks,
Okay.
spending time with my friends.
Have you been able to do those activities lately within the past month? It sounds like you kind of said you've kind of been feeling alone and not motivated to do a lot of those things. Well, what we could try is looking at ways to come up with a schedule, come up with some not only ways of thinking differently, but ways of maybe incorporating some of those things that you'd like to do to kind of change some of those behaviors. You change behaviors, you can change the way you think, and then you change the way you think, you can hopefully change the way you feel. So have you ever tried positive self-talk? Do you know what that is?
No.
Well, it's a technique where you could actually do yourself, and when you wake up in the morning, you can say to yourself something like, today's going to be a good day. I'm going to come up with some positive things to say about your day and what you're looking forward to. You could actually keep a journal if that's something you wouldn't mind trying. I want to kind of focus on things that you're comfortable doing and not pushing anything that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, but also, focus on your strengths and things that you like to do. You mentioned exercising, walking your dog, and, talking with friends. And you said you really haven't been doing that lately?
No.
Okay.
I haven't felt like it.
Well, that's kind of the symptoms of depression. But would you feel comfortable maybe talking about connecting with a certain friend, maybe once or twice a week, to try to maybe set up a time to do a preferred activity, something that would want to motivate you to get out and interact, as long as you feel up for that. That's something you could kind of incorporate along with the positive self-talk, if you're comfortable with that. And so if they did something like that, maybe once or twice over the next week, that would be something you could try. Another thing you could try is, if you felt comfortable, is maybe taking your dog out for a walk. So then there's the exercise combined with spending time with your dog. Even if you don't feel comfortable doing it at first, it can feel good to kind of push through it a little bit to try to get those positive feelings back, and hopefully, change some of the depressed moods. That's kind of the whole idea behind CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. So I would try to assign you some homework to do between now and our next session. Does any of those things sound like they would be viable options for you?
They sound hard, but...
Well, you could start out slow at first, maybe trying trying something maybe once a week, maybe try one or two things, and then kind of keep track of how you're feeling through that process. So if you're going out for a walk with your dog, you might want to note, how long you went for, how you felt through the process, and maybe how you felt when you got back. Same with going out with a friend, and and maybe trying the positive self-talk as well. How has now again, you talked about anxiety attacks.
Mhm.
There are other techniques too to help with anxiety, kind of like deep breathing. Have you ever tried anything like that before?
No.
Do you belong to a gym or something
I
like
do.
that? There's also probably some good resources there for a lot of gyms offer things like yoga or Tai Chi that could help, help relax the mind and do more mindfulness activities. That's going to make you, do physical things, but it can also make you feel better emotionally too. How does that sound as something like you could possibly reach out? I know this sounds like a lot, and you're just talking about this stuff now, but over time, these could be some strategies and techniques that could help. And if it's something that you're feeling comfortable with, you can do them even more than maybe once or twice. It kind of all depends on how you're feeling. Can you tell me anything else about the thoughts that you're having when you're not around other people or when you're home? I assume you're standing home by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of thoughts or feeling are you having when you're by yourself?
Just loneliness and sadness.
And when you're feeling lonely and sad and maybe miss out on some things, how does that make you feel afterwards?
Worse.
And it sounds to me like when you come in to get some help, it sounds to me like you want to make a change and you're motivated. You want to be motivated to make the change. Some of these techniques that we talked about hopefully can help you do that and help make you feel a little bit better about yourself. But it is a process and it does take some time. The good thing is this technique is usually pretty straightforward and it's collaborative, so we're working together. I'm giving you suggestions, but they're based off of the strengths and the things that you like to do.
Right.
So if you do more preferred activities, even give it a shot, that's something that could help in the long run. So within the next, if you come back next week, would you be able to kind of maybe keep a little bit of a self-talk journal with positive thoughts and try the walking of the dog and connecting with a friend? And then let me know how you feel next week.
Sure.
And we can kind of pick things up from there.
Okay.
Well, thanks for coming in, and I'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.